Well, there are certain videos that are hard to make, and this is one of them. April 25th, I believe, is really a bad day for fans in general because looks like we lost about 3 people that day. First off, Giovanni Radice, aka John Morgan, from Make Them Die Slowly, House on the Edge of the Park, City of the Living Dead, and a ton of others. Arguably the most abused man in the history of Italian horror films. Unfortunately, I never got to meet him because when he did appear at, I believe it was Cinema Wasteland, I was recovering from cancer surgery and couldn't drive, so I couldn't get up there. But for all intents and purposes, he was pretty much of a very lovely man, really loved by the fans. He really loved his fans and really appreciated the recognition he got from being in these films. And his portrayal of Mike in Cannibal Ferox, aka Make Them Die Slowly, sort of epitomized what was going on in New York at that time because there was a shitload of blow around, and audience members could identify with this coked out fucking psychotic loser who was basically out of his fucking mind, and he played it brilliantly. But unfortunately, I don't know what the cause of death was. He's no longer with us. On that same day, we found out that the ringmaster himself, Jerry Springer, had passed away. Jerry Springer was a real, I don't know what you would say, reality TV when it wasn't reality because most of the shit was staged. And I can give you examples of that because 2 friends of mine actually were on that show. And they were both independent wrestlers. Madman Pondo and Bulldog Blansky. Bulldog was on there as Tony in a love triangle, and of course this shit erupted on stage. I think there was another women wrestler there, Mary Kate or something, and I think Joe Rules was there. But anyway, he was thrown over for this Pakistani office guy who basically baited him, and the backstory is that Joe Rules told him in the back that, Bulldog's kind of nuts. You really should watch out when you piss him off. Well, this kid, the unmentionable, he grabbed Jerry Springer and hid behind him. You don't touch Jerry Springer on the show. The other story is that Madman Pondo had been on there a couple of times, and they were doing this angle where it was supposed to be a 3-way love triangle, 3 guys fighting over this one girl. So I'm not exactly sure who he had with him. It might have been Too Tough Tony. But they were in the green room, and Pondo thought, if we go out there and do this the way we usually do it, they're going to know we're wrestlers. So somebody says, well, what do you want to do? He goes, let's go out there and hit each other for real. And they were like, He goes, no, let's just do this. So they went out there, they had a brawl, and what Pondo did was, he goes, oh my God, I can't do this. This is horrible. I'm so sorry I did this. Steve, don't worry about it. Let me help him up. He goes to help him up and decks him. Steve drags him off, tells him he's not coming out for the rebuttal. Now he's barred from the Jerry Springer show, yada, yada, yada. So Pondo has the distinction of being the only guy barred from the Jerry Springer show. But according to Pondo, and I've known him for a few years, they were still using him to bring people in, other wrestlers, some other weird freaky people that he hung out with and stuff. There was a movie that actually ran on 42nd Street in the early 80s called Dawn of the Mummy. And we were looking at this thing, and actually I didn't see it on 42nd Street. I walked past it because mummy movies to me are like, I don't know, the slow-moving, drag the foot type shit. And the only really violent one was the Christopher Lee one from Hammer. So I sort of passed on this one, but I did pick it up on VHS. I think it was Thorn AMI. And this is like a cannibalistic mummy movie. This mummy is resurrected and kills people and has a horde of the living dead that attack and eat a wedding party at the end. Completely over the top, completely crazy. And the director was Frank Agrama, who unfortunately also passed away on April 25th. I'm not sure what else he did, but this film certainly cements him in the history of Grindhouse films, because this was a Grindhouse film, and a fucking crazy one at that. I don't know if this thing's on Blu-ray. It was out on a DVD. Like I said, it's gory as all get out, guts get ripped out, and like I said, how can you top a wedding party where the bride is being eaten by the living dead? So it's worth checking out. We here at Grindhouse Resurrection are completely sad that all these people have passed us, but you have to realize that as time rolls on, we're going to lose more and more people that were connected to this Grindhouse subculture, and it's very sad to hear it. But on the good part, it seems like Gary Kent is doing a little bit better. I sent him my tablet so he can use and get back on Facebook and interact with people again. So that's one good thing. But again, Giovanni Radici, Jerry Springer, and Frank Agrama, may you all rest in peace, and thank you for your contributions to the Grindhouse culture. And that's sadly my show for today. So thanks for subscribing, thanks for tuning in. Above all, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.